some Mortarion to paint. I'm just gonna get right into it. Feels like ages since last stream. I know it's not many ages. It's just morning. But welcome back. Or welcome if this is your first time seeing this. If you couldn't tell already, I'm working on Mortarion. He's the Demon Primarch of the Death Guard, Warhammer 40k. He's got a pretty cool paint scheme. And the first thing I'm going to do is get another layer on the yellow here. Get that looking a bit better. And that's the wrong yellow that I was using. Good start. Good start. I also realised there's a bit of a technical issue with my stream, so bear with me 2 moments please while I fix this. I apologise. I mentioned this on YouTube. Okay, there we go. Now hopefully no one will see that I messed up. Okay, we're good. Thank you for bearing with me. Professional streamer, by the way. In literally none of the senses that you would imagine. Okay, when we left off, this is kind of where we'd gotten to. Today is going to be pretty much more of the same. It's more details, more refining, mainly on the main body. I think for the most part, the wings and base are pretty good. They're pretty much good to go. You know, a little bit of work, but not as much as the main body, which is today I'm mainly focusing on this part in my hand right here. All these myriad details. So what I'm doing first is just kind of lightening and tidying the pipe work. I want this to look kind of oozing and gross. So I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. It's going to have a layer of contrast paint over as well to make it look goopy. Technical term, goopy. So yeah. Once we've been able to sort that out, I'll get on with other stuff. And if you're curious who is providing the music today, if you don't recognize it, it is the Relaxed Movement. Wonderful, wonderful mixes. Thoroughly recommend checking them out on YouTube if you can. They're great for some chill DMCA free music, especially if you're a streamer. Be a bit careful because we're at the stage now where there's a lot of bits that can sustain damage now. So just taking a little bit of extra care when turning the model around. Hopefully it will save us some trouble in the future. Bear with me just a moment, please. Just grabbing a paint here. So all I'm doing here is just introducing a few little highlights. I'm trying to keep them pretty low-key at the moment because I don't want them to be too aggressive. So I've gone for quite a dark highlight colour. It'll blend in quite easily and hopefully just kind of give the subtlest of variations. Realistically, I should have done this slightly differently, but that's just looking at it with hindsight. So if I had thought about it, I would have done spot highlighting underneath. So I would have put all the highlights in, then put my colour over the top. Would have been a slightly easier and better way of doing it on this occasion, but I didn't do it. And it's kind of too late to go back now, so here we are. Alrighty. So I'm gonna be a bit quiet because highlights always seem to take a little bit more thought for me. So try and think, you know, where's the light coming from? What's it doing? There's a little bit more consideration with putting highlights in versus, you know, all the pipes need to be painted yellow. Hood. So you're still talking about, you know, regular Space Marine anatomy. You've got helmets and fully armored faces and all this sort of thing. I'm getting some of that texture worked in through the whole cloak. Again, I'm trying really hard to not have just these thick, chunky stripes everywhere. I'm trying to sort of blend them in and make them feel like a natural part of the cloth. A lot harder to do this with regular layer paints. If you're struggling at all, contrast paint's your friend on this. Just get a nice, clean base layer on there. Something like Gracia, Wraithbone, something nice and flat. And then just layer up some contrast paints on top of it. This sort of step is done for you then. Okay. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of this sort of thing going on today. Because I'm gonna be kind of brightening up everything, making it kind of just look better. Hopefully end up with a model that is close to finished, if not completely finished. I don't know what I'll get done in the time today, but we'll see how we get on. Get my smallest brush. I got some tiny detail tidying to do. And realistically, getting a very fine detail brush is the only reliable way to fix face details. Find a small brush. It's the best advice I can give you. Just find a really small brush. Like, you know, I'm using, I think, 000 here. So if anyone knows brush sizes, that's really tiny. Like 0 is a small brush. 000 is just silly. But that's your best way of getting those details in. Let me go in with some of this. Are you wondering what I'm doing? I'm detailing up the face, basically. I'm putting in that Brightclum Flashblade wash that I mentioned last time. So he still looks quite cadaverous and, you know, skeletonish, I guess. But I kind of don't want him to look like a walking corpse necessarily, so putting a little bit of flesh shade in there. I'm just not letting it pool too much. And then go back in, highlight over some areas like cheekbones and the nose, or the nasal cavity. He's got a skull-esque cavity. Kind of an unliving flesh kind of look overall. I hope people can see that. There you go. It's not quite done yet, but that's kind of what I'm going with here. So all I'm doing is kind of trying to get the shadows and the shading right. I don't want it to look too jarring, but I also don't want it to just look flat. So I've kind of semi-blended the Reichland flesh shade and Rakoff flesh color. Alrighty. Happy to leave that as it is for now. I'm sort of going to work out a little bit. Hey Thess, welcome in. Not to be muted. I think I managed to not be muted today. How's it going? Not be muted? Uh-huh. Okay. Well, that's fine. We all know how professional I am. Okay, same old. Sounds alright. I'm okay, thank you. Just I was at work yesterday, so I'm looking forward to having my weekend after stream. Yeah, it's a tired things. You know how it is. It's working things. Yeah, I still haven't decided on the armor trim. I don't know if I like the dark or the light brass better. This is where reference comes in handy. I'm just gonna check the reference, see what that has. That has light. Okay. Easy peasy then. Light brass it is. To be fair, I want all of this to kind of look less dingy and more saturated, I guess, in colour. So that's the brass that I accidentally picked up and switched to the one I was going to use. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to finish this today. I would like to, but I think it might take another one stream to get everything done. So I think this is going to be the penultimate stream that we work on this particular model, which is exciting. I'm looking forward to a new project soon. I think I know exactly which one I'm going to do as well. Which is even better, to be honest. It's not often that I already know what project I'm going to jump to when I'm at this stage of one. Less dingy. So the colours of this one are quite you know, dark and muted and grimy looking, and that's kind of deliberate. It's what you want with this model, but I want to work on something a bit more vibrant. Some brighter colours, some, yeah, I can throw in some more exciting effects and things like that. Yeah, dingy is the only word I can really use to describe the colour scheme with this. And it might seem like an odd one because, you know, there's like the purples and the yellows are quite bright, but they're all going to have to be muted down. So it's a bit, yeah. It's like everything's got a sort of slight greyish undertone to it on this model, which is exactly what you want when you're working on Death Guard, because they're, you know, they're all about the death and decay and entropy and all that sort of thing. So it's great. It's perfect for the theme. But after a while, you want something a bit more vibrant in your life. Where's some pop rest? That looks great, and then he changes it. I'm sorry. At least I don't ruin it with a random stripe right down the middle. I think that's a compliment though. Bob Ross is fantastic. Was a wonderful human being. Sadly was. But yeah, it's just kind of where I'm at with this at the moment. Like, I'm trying to resist the urge to just dunk it all in super bright colors and stick to my original plan, because otherwise we'll be here for another couple of months with this.
Grand Admiral Mango just subscribed.
Mango, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. I hope you're well. 8 months. 8. That's huge. I know I keep saying this, but it's going by so quickly. It's kind of scary. Welcome in. I hope you're having a lovely weekend. So yeah, at the moment all I'm doing is armor trim. If anyone wants the paint recipe, it's Chaos Black as the primer spray. On most of it, there's also a layer of Warp Block Bronze. That's the dark metallic colour that you see. And then just Rune Lord Brass over the top. Super quick and easy. Really effective. I don't need anything else on top of that. I might do a little bit of silver on there if I want some to look kind of worn or chipped. But that's about it. I don't feel like Rune or Brass needs much in the way of additional highlighting or anything like that. It's a very, very good paint on its own. It's done a lot of heavy lifting on this particular piece. Hello Kitty Death Gunman. Oh man, I wish. That's giving me all sorts of evil ideas at some point. Actually, I might have some spare Death Guard to try that out on. Really upset some diehard fans. I hope you're enjoying your weekend, Mango. And thank you again very much for the resub. Makes a huge difference, especially at the moment. It's very, very appreciated. I don't know whose idea it was for Mortarion to have so many spikes in his armor. But please no. No more. Armor spikes, like the ones I'm currently painting, are my least favorite thing. Least favorite design feature. bit of pipe work here that I've missed. My first attempt at these, so I'm just going back and getting it now. Waiting for that newest bit to dry. Just checking something. Okay. Okay. Right. Smoke. So I've not really touched the smoke too much. Other than to give it its first initial coat of paint. It's kind of a deliberate choice. But coming in now. And this is, so it's got a base of ceramite white. Not ceramite white, sorry. Ulthuan Grey. That's the name. And now I'm going in with Corax White, which is a brighter grey-white colour, basically. This should give it a little bit of depth. In theory. It's worked very well in the past when I've done this. I'm hoping it works well again on here. The trick is to kind of not cover what you've already done. Think of it as ultra chunky highlighting if you're familiar with any of those techniques. And again, if you're doing something like Mortarion, I imagine you're probably familiar with at least one or two painting techniques. This is not a beginner piece, in my honest opinion. Oh my goodness. Husky Pixels, thank you very much for the follow. And who knows? Thank you for the 420 tip. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And welcome in Husky Pixels as well. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a lovely weekend. Husky. Thank you very much for the tip, whoever it was. I'm not going to make assumptions. We all know what they do, those do. Yeah, that's basically all I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be repeating this all the way around, all the smoke, so including the stuff at the back here. Just with this sort of chunky highlight effect, basically. So it's extremely time consuming. it is time consuming, but it's I feel like it's worthwhile. Just getting it, pushing it to that next sort of stage of being a nice to look at model. And also making sure that you look at it from multiple angles. Something that I used to always do was paint my models all from one specific angle, which was fine until you turn the model slightly on the tabletop and you're like, oh, that didn't look as good as I thought it did. Yeah, painting from one angle only really works if you're planning to put it in a display or in a diorama where it's never going to get moved. Just a bit here. I apologise if any of the sounds from outside are coming through. The neighbours are being kind of noisy today. But we are coming along quite nicely with this. Smoke is one of my favourite details to put in, because it's very, very satisfying when you get it right. It's not a massively common, like, not modelled on smoke like this. It's not massively common anymore. You typically don't see it on anything outside of sort of magic users and wizards these days. It's a real shame. Fewer tactical rocks and more power smoke for dramatic effect. That's what I say. That's my hot hobby take of the week. Doing a quick brush rinse in an attempt to not completely ruin my entire brush collection. Again, I'm trying to keep the detail here kind of fluffy still because it is smoke. You know, it's not a hard edge. You don't want too many pin perfect straight lines. So you can be, it's a little more forgiving at this point if you sort of go over or yeah, any overspill, any sort of less than perfectly clean lines. They're actually probably gonna make your smoke look a little bit more real. And again, even on these little, I don't know what you call them, insect spawners, I guess. I'm sure they have a proper in-universe name. I just don't know. But yeah, even the smoke coming off of these is getting the same treatment. Now, if I was a bit more of a skilled painter, I'd do something a little bit ambitious and do kind of a color shift. So when demon primarchs or anything actually manifests from the warp, it's always described as having red and purple tendrils of smoke piling off it, as sort of almost shards of the warp coming off of it. I would love to attempt a red-purple color shift smoke effect at some stage. But I am realistic enough about my skill as a painter to know that it's kind of out of my wheelhouse for the time being. So for now, we're going with regular old steamy white smoke. Think of it as like jungle steam, you know, that sort of hot humidity that quite often gives off clouds of steam, especially in the mornings. Tropical humidity, that kind of vibe. Still working on this smoke. We're nearly done. We've basically just got stuff on his back to do, which I'm doing slightly differently. I'm doing this more as a sort of traditional thick highlight effect. rather than what I was doing with that stuff, which is a little bit different. Where is it? I don't know. I don't know really what I'm talking about here. I just paint things, and a lot of the time they look like how I thought they would look when I'm done. And then I sort of reverse engineer it in my head to work out why I did what I did as I'm talking. But I love that we're finally building up some layers, some depth, something a bit more interesting than flat color on this guy. It's been nice to take it a bit more slowly than previous projects. I think there was a point where I probably would have done this in about 2, maybe 3 streams. I've been perfectly happy with the results as well. This is stream number 5. So almost double the time that I would have taken over it at one point. But I think I am miles happier with how it's come along so far. That's kind of make me want to go back over old painting commissions though. Just be like, no, wait, come back. I can do so much better now. And anyway, we're trekking along. I apologize if I keep going quiet. It's just hyper-focus mode, basically, kicking in. I'm just making sure that I get this right. I hope you can tell the difference on camera. I don't know how well it's coming through. So press. I might actually be able to get through this in the next few minutes. So as I'm going, I'm also keeping an eye out for any bits that need correcting. You know, once upon a time I'd have done corrections and things like that off of stream, and then I realised it was kind of pointless. It's still painting. You know, depriving you of seeing all of the steps kind of makes no sense. The only bits that I won't make you do are the bits that have a long dry time between, like those wings. Because I don't think anyone wants to sit here and watch paint dry for 6 hours. Even though that's kind of what everyone's doing. Watch paint dry with narration and music. We're getting to the point where I can stop with this soon. Just doing kind of the smaller bits of smoke now. The smaller adjustments as well. And to be fair, you could probably do this, do the same thing with dry brushing. If you wanted to. You wouldn't have to do the sort of more detailed approach that I took. You could probably get the same effect. Might even be better. And watch paint dry. I did not know that there was a game about watching paint dry. I didn't. That's pretty amazing. I mean, when you think about it, that's all that's really going on screen right now. It's just paint drying. Occasionally there's a paintbrush that runs around, but it's mainly just paint drying. If you're wondering what's going on now, I am shaking out some paints because the metallics are terrible. They separate like crazy. And we're going to be using a lot of them. I'm going to work on all these little incense balls. I don't even know what the sort of strict in-game word for those would be. I'm assuming they're sort of incense burners or gas canisters of some description. I don't know for sure. But anyway, vintners. And I'm trying not to duplicate any colors or designs. I kind of want it to look like a mismatched collection of these things rather than standard issue. Yeah, he's a Primarch. He's got his own bespoke things attached to his cloak. Not a matching set for everyone else, like some regular old troopsmen. I'm working on this guy at the back. The little fly detail. And just having these done is gonna kind of make the whole model look a bit more completed. Hopefully. Also tidy up any chains that are kind of half done. Here. Which again, it just kind of helps to make the whole overall model look a bit more finished and polished. Okay, and this side. Before I put the wings on, I'm just going to tidy this a little bit up a bit. There we go. And silver fly wings. Yeah, different variant of one that we've already got. Hopefully. Different anyway. I think I'll carry on with the silver on this one. This guy, this one kind of looks more like a grenade than some of the others. Maybe it's a mixture of like grenades and incense burners and odds and ends. There's a bit of a power move, I guess. So powerful I've got grenades as decoration on my cloak. If you really want to attack me, that's fine, but I could just literally turn and throw a grenade in your face. Yeah, the more I look at it, the more I'm convinced this is actually a grenade that I'm painting right now. It's probably why it's got a little Nurgling carrying it. So it doesn't accidentally get set off by like a rock on the ground or something. Just turning up these two here a little bit. Also tidying up the chain for this guy. I'll do the Nurgling in a minute. I think that's going to be my next thing, is going over both of the Nurglings attached to Mortarion and kind of making sure they're tidied and properly painted. I think there's only two. Yeah, there's only two directly attached to him anyway. Just tidying up the chain, making sure it's actually painted properly. Again, this all kind of feels very basic, but it makes a huge difference in the final piece. That's why I spent so long on the groundwork for this guy, because, you know, you can't really do this step without having first all your layers and bases put in. It's such a detailed model that it just takes exponentially more time to get it right and get it solid. Picture in my head about Death Guard throwing an Urgling at the Space Marines. I mean, if there isn't already lore about Death Guards using Nurglings as grenades, there should be. Because I can totally believe that. Look at these little guys. Like, these tiny little demons are perfect size for a Space Marine to just chuck them at someone's head. Even if it just bounces off. Still be funny. Put it in a Caiaphas K novel, no one will bat an eyelid. Hey, Epic, welcome in. Yeah, I've had pets always. How's it going? All the head pats for Epic. You know, Mango, if I had more skill as someone who could draw, I would totally just draw what you've put in chat there. I would just sketch it out. A little cartoon sketch. Shadow and Kitty are trying to stop getting them. Aww. Well, you can always get them here. You're all welcome to have hair pets anytime. Hair pets are pretty great. Yay. Well, I hope you're having a good morning, apart from some minor head pat denial. I hope you're having a good day, Epic. And it is good to see you. I got distracted working on the gun. This gun needed some TLC, I think. I'm trying to place spot the difference. I can't work out what's different. Is that good? Aw, thank you. It is going well. I'm having a lot of fun with this model. It's a nice little challenge to my painting skills. And as much as I am looking forward to a new project, I still love painting this, so... You know, it's good all around. Yeah, I think the rest of the day is going to be gardening, food prepping, and I don't know, probably catching up on YouTube. I'm behind on my YouTube. Maybe an audiobook, depending on how I feel. So, as usual, Sunday is super chill for me. I'm excited because I've got a new planter for my little balcony garden. Which, you know, if you're not into gardening, I know it sounds kind of lame, but I'm excited about it. It means I'll be able to access my plants better. It's illegal? Hey, Howley. What do you mean it's illegal? I don't know what you mean. I'm just a little behind. Insert butt joke here. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to my weekend. Even if I only get a one-day weekend, technically. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I hope you're doing well, Hallie. It's always good to see you. Yeah, I've got a little planter now for my balcony garden. So rather than having all the pots like just scattered on my balcony, it's got like little tiers of shelves that I can use. Keep them all tidied and, you know, safe from getting blown away. So I gotta build that and put it out in my balcony and then fill it up. And I'm planting out strawberry plants. So I'm hoping I should have a nice big batch of strawberries in the next few weeks. It should be really exciting. Homegrown strawberries is something I've been looking forward to since I decided to actually try growing my own food. And I've almost got enough for my own homegrown, full bowl of homegrown salad leaves. Super exciting. That'll be the first produce out of my garden this year. What else? Yeah. At some point I'll start sharing the links for my, like, I've got a little Instagram going for my gardening and cooking exploits that I've been working on as kind of a side project thing. At some point I'll share that with you all if you're interested. Or I'll start sharing it. So you can all see how far we've come along this year. Yeah, that's basically kind of what I do in my Sunday afternoons, is lots of cooking, lots of gardening things, chilling, reading. I usually catch up on my book to read pile. And it's been really, really good for my mental health more than anything. Because having at least an afternoon where I'm pretty much entirely unplugged from the internet. Even if nothing ever really happens on a Sunday, it's just nice to have some offline time. And at the end of it, I get some nice food and a pretty garden, and I get to read the books that I spend forever collecting. So it's kind of a win all around. I'm just going to paint this in green just so it's painted in. If I want to change the colour, I'll do it later. So this, my goal is to basically finish upstream with everything having at least had all the base coats done and being, you know, very close to being completely finished. because this project lingered a little bit longer than I anticipated. And I'd really like to start being able to say it's nearly done. So instead of letting that drift off of camera, bring it back so you can all see what I'm doing. So I'm just tidying up all of the trim on the armor. Just making sure that we're fully in on that brighter brass colour. And then just going around the edges with a smaller brush and tidying up any overspills, basically. You know, it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it's honest, solid painting work. This one needs a small brush anyway, because it's just a tiny little piece of armor here. Bloody gorgeous, thank you, Sinku. Welcome in. I hope you're well. Yeah, this is definitely I think I'm treating this kind of like a portfolio piece in a way. So just really kind of taking my time and going to town with all the details. Just getting it as good as I'm able to. We're getting there slowly. Let's face it, things like this never take a short amount of time. Yeah. 6 a.m. on a Sunday and the evil space orb is torturing me. Ooh. Sun's already up for you. The big bloody lamp in the sky. Right, let's shut some of these, because for some reason, metallic paints always smell the strongest. I know the feeling. I'm currently saving up for blackout curtains in my bedroom so I can sleep in past sunrise in the summer. of it on half of your window. Debating extending it. Yeah, because my bedroom's in an attic space, it's got yeah, like an angled roof and all that jazz. I have to get kind of specialist designed ones rather than just your standard hang it up on a curtain pole type curtains, which is really irritating. But it does mean, you know, if I want them, it costs me a lot more money. But I do the short straw. So in the summer, when obviously it gets light quite early in the day, the sun shines directly onto my pillow from about 6 or 7 in the morning. Until probably past 3 p.m. because of where our, the direction of our windows. So it's kind of like, once the sun's up, I have to be up, because it's like having a spotlight trained on your pillow. You just don't get any sleep after that. And I've tried eye masks and things like that. It just doesn't work. So at some point, I will be able to save up money to get the curtains. It's just unlucky. Or lucky, depending on your perspective. If you like being up early in the morning, I suppose it would be a blessing in disguise. But, someone who tends to be up quite late at night, especially in the summer. It's a little bit inconvenient. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is I empathize. I empathize very strongly with anyone who gets woken up by the stupid lamp in the sky every morning. Spare pillows. Yeah, I've tried so many different things at this point. During the week when I have to be up at 7:30, the weekends, yeah. See, because I work from home, even on a work day, it wakes me up before I need to be awake. At the moment, my best coping strategy is just a lot of coffee. Yeah, I just accept that until the clocks go back, I have less sleep than I would like. Hey now, we don't withhold head pats here. Everyone needs head pats sometimes. I'll be honest, the main thing that I'm more worried about these days is getting a set of wireless headphones that I can wear for streaming. Because I am really tired of running over my extra long headphone cable It literally stretched from one end of my office to the other. It's ridiculous. I need some wireless ones. Into the fire pit. Don't burn yourself, fire pick. I suppose you are a phoenix, so. Yeah, wireless headphones. If anyone has any recommendations, let me know. Need them to be suitable for streaming and gaming. What brand am I using right now? I'm using HyperX, which they're great. But the current ones that I've got, which I think were the Cloud Stinger, it might be a different one. I can't remember now. The ones I got, the cord is just way too long, and I've got too many cables as it is. So I need to start transitioning to some wireless stuff. And I thought headphones would be a good place to start with that. So they're great. My last set of HyperX headphones lasted me like 5 years plus. I mean, strictly speaking, they still work. They just have a bit of damage to their headband that kind of makes them uncomfortable for long periods of time. And again, the damage is my own fault. I dropped them. Some of the stuff, some of the padding on the headband ripped off when I dropped them. Yeah, if I hadn't done that, I'd probably still be using those ones. So I don't dislike or have any issues with HyperX at all. But I need something wireless. Realistically. Hey, Kitty! Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Logitech fanboy. I love my Logitech mouse. Really love my Logitech mouse. It's fantastic. Yeah, I'm still very much in the researching what my options are within my budget and all that sort of thing stage of replacing the current headphones. Plus, like I said, there's nothing wrong with them. Exactly. They function very well. They just have an extremely long cable, which I keep catching in, my desk chair, or I trap it between my body and my desk. And because it's got a little volume control there, it sends my volume haywire. So it's just inconvenient. Yeah, currently, probably looking at maybe getting a set of studio cans because they're about the same price. They're wireless and they've got some great audio quality. So I'm leaning towards them. I think they're Vera Moda. Something like that. But we'll see. We'll see. That's in the distant future when, you know, I actually have some spare cash. Okay, let's get this little guy some color on him. Hey Shadow, welcome in. Hope you're well. You like the Logitech G734? Fair enough. Is that what you're currently using, Kitty? As I said, I do want to emphasize, I don't dislike Logitech or any particular brand at the moment. I'm just looking for something different to what I've currently got. And honestly, if the wire on my current headphones was maybe half the length, I probably would just stick it out until they gave up. But it is driving me absolutely nuts that I can literally walk from one end of my office to the other while still wearing my headphones and still not really be at risk of pulling them out of the desktop. It's just a bit too long. I don't know the G734 off the top of my head. But if you like it, that's good to hear. That's definitely one I'll keep in mind. Yeah, in terms of like audio quality and everything else, my current headset is fantastic. It is literally just too generous in the wire department. Might even look for a hybrid set where they can be wired and wireless. I don't know. Like I said, just kind of gathering information at the moment. Really was because he's his connection to my PC. Oh, the kitty krakens. They look fantastic, to be fair. I'm sorry they're losing connection. Need some cleaning. Ah. Well, thank you for stopping in, Tess. I appreciate it. I hope you you sleep well. And have a good day tomorrow. Take it easy. I'll catch up with you later. And take care of us. Okay. Right. I think once I get this guy some paint on him, I might call it, to be fair. Just to get myself some rest. It's been a long week. Am I kitty krakens? Yeah, having to troubleshoot equipment is not really what you want. I can completely understand that. Well, I mean, I can recommend HyperX. If you don't mind wired headsets or long wires on your headset, HyperX do some great gaming headsets. Like once they're set up, I literally never had a problem with mine, other than long wires, which realistically, unless you're particularly fussy about your wires, is not really a problem. You know, the problems I have with my HyperX stuff is more of a me problem than a them problem. And the set I had before this would still be pretty much flawless if I hadn't dropped them and damaged them. But they lasted a full, like... I can't remember exactly how long I had them, but it was a good 5 years before I needed to change them up. So, they get my vote. And they're the ones that I would recommend to anyone, really. If you're looking for a good, solid set of gaming headsets. Oh! G735 comes in wireless, but a pastel in colour. I don't mind that. The ones that I've been looking at have been, they're quite expensive, I'll be honest. They're a hybrid studio quality headset. So they're more designed for music producing than gaming. But I tried out a pair that a friend has, and they are amazing. They sound so good. So I'm kind of like, the sound quality is kind of hooking me on them. They're the Crossfade 2 by, I think it's Vera Moda. I can't remember the exact company name now. Vera something. But yeah, they're the ones that I'm eyeing up. But again, they're expensive. They're an investment. I'm not in a rush, so I'm not going to be getting them anytime soon unless I get a windfall. Realistically. Do you have any link? Please do. I'll check them out when I can. But yeah, like I said, I'm not in a rush. It's one of those, I'm gonna sit and wait for the perfect set. And then once I get the cash together, I'll get them. Anything. There's no urgency, it's just my irritation that's making me want to do it sooner rather than later. Airing the season pass for Destiny and Diablo 4. Nice. I heard a lot of good stuff about Diablo 4 actually. Lots of people saying it's a lot of fun. I'm not ever really been into Diablo myself, so I've just kind of gone, that's nice, and yeah, you all have fun over there kind of thing. But I'll probably be checking out some people's streams of it just to find out what all the hype is about. You know, for me, I finally bought EA Play, so I have all of the stuff on that at the moment to work my way through. Some of which I'll be playing in the upcoming charity streams, because it is that time of the year again. So from next week, I'm going to be doing some charity streams, which will be fun. I do need to stretch my hands. It is reassuring that I can stand the model up, and it feels kind of stable. Which means when it gets onto the actual face, it should hopefully be a lot more comfortable. Major life expenses. I get that. I get that, kitty. I'm also saving up for my next Australia trip, so I'm not in any rush to spend a big chunk of change on anything right now. I've also just paid off a 4-figure debt, so I'm like, my money situation is, you know, moths in the wallet kind of thing, but it'll improve very rapidly when I next get a paycheck from work. So, and you know, paying off debts is a good thing in the long run. Very good for the health of your bank account. I hope you're successful with whatever life expenses are coming your way. I hope they go well. I mean, if you want to talk about what they are, feel free, but also don't feel like you have to mention what it is, because I know for some people finances is a really intensely personal thing that they don't like talking about. Like I was raised in a household where you just absolutely do not talk money. But I find it easier to talk about it. It's easier to be honest about it for me, which is why I'm quite open about finances and things like that. It's a personal preference thing. I know I said I'd come off after doing that nurgling, but I want to do the scythe too. Yeah, financially I'm doing 2 quite ambitious things. I'm trying to save to literally travel to the other side of the world again. And I'm trying to get debt-free. Or debt-free as in no consumer debt, no credit card debt, no loan debt. I'm not counting a student loan. Because, let's face it, whoever pays off their student loans in the UK. Especially since I owe more due to interest than I ever borrowed in the first place. Which is kind of ridiculous. But that's a side point. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been working towards, which is why I'm just never, ever, ever financially stable, because I'm just aggressively putting in every penny I can spare into getting rid of these debts. At the start of the year, I had a 4-figure overdraft, I had a 4-figure personal loan, 4 figures of credit card debt. There's a lot. And, you know, through a combination of reducing personal expenses, selling things I no longer needed or wanted, and some very clever, like, financial tricks, basically. I've reduced my overdraft to 0. I've paid off my personal loan completely. And my credit card debt is on the way down. So it's possible. Now it helps I got bonuses from work and things like that did a lot of the heavy lifting on that, but still. Feels good. I want to be debt free. I want to know that when my paycheck hits my bank account, none of it is going to anyone but me. Except, you know, for general day-to-day life bills like rent. Cute kitty. It's not something I'm talking about a lot because, as I say, it's one, not many people are not many people are interested in it, and two, it's not really anything I can say much about. It's like, yeah, I saved a bunch of money on this, that, and the other, so then I put that towards this debt. You know, if anyone knows anything about personal finances, I'm basically using the snowball method. So I'm taking the, you know, the most expensive debts, paying those off first, and then snowballing from there. But I'm currently at a position where the amount that I owe to various companies has more than halved since the beginning of the year, which is great. It's an awesome feeling. And I should have accomplished... I should be able to pay off my credit card within the next 2 years, if not sooner, depending on any windfalls. And I'll be completely debt-free in the next 3 years, basically, with this plan. Which is awesome. Oh no, the car's since the end of April. Aw, I'm sorry to hear that, kitty. That's rough. Cars are so expensive. They're so hideously expensive. Like, I currently can't afford a car. At all. I can't afford the expense. I can't afford the upkeep. So, yeah. Cars are crazy expensive. You have my deepest empathy for that. Starting with the smallest first? Yeah, that's also a completely valid way to do it. It's whatever works best for you. For me, getting rid of the biggest debt, like the most expensive debts, so the ones I was putting most into per month. Starting with that was the smart way to go, because then it just made my life, you know, orders of magnitude easier each time one of those debts got conquered. So it feels good. Put it this way, at the beginning of the year, I was putting nearly half of my paycheck into debt management and the other half into rent. I was living on about less than 20% of my paycheck at the beginning of the year. It's a horrible, horrible feeling. I would just like to emphasize that is awful. Do not do that. It is not a good way to live. And that's something that had accumulated over time. And now I'll be getting more than 50% of my paycheck every month going to me personally. Not to debtors, not to rent. It's going in my pocket. Which is just gonna be so good. Just by being really aggressive and for like really aggressive with how I'm paying them off in the next couple of years. I'm going to be just infinitely better off. Do you think about asking a mutual friend? Aw, that'd be amazing. Aw, I'm sorry that things like rent are unstable for you though. That's hard. Yeah, I mean, I live with my partner of 10 years, so my living expenses are fairly stable. They're about as stable as anyone who shares with another human being can be expecting them to be. I'm sorry you're having to deal with that. But it'd be nice if you can have someone that you know and know that you get on with move in with you. That'd be amazing. Oh, yeah. It's getting really bad for trans quality. I'm sure that would also be amazing. That's a really good thing that you're doing. And you know, new roommate that you already know and already know you get on with. Even better. Like, I think I know who you're referring to, so yeah. That is rough. We just had the fun thing of UK Parliament once again saying basically we don't see why non-binary people need to be able to say that they're non-binary on their passport. So it's like, cool, thanks. Why is gender even a thing on the passport? Thank you for once again invalidating my existence, government. Okay, I'm kind of used to it by now. The UK is not as good as they like to pretend they are at accepting people of different gender identities. Non-traditional. I don't want to say non-binary, but it's non-binary in the true sense of the word of being outside of male or female. Mark any gender on the US passport too. Nice. Yeah. On in the UK you have to pick male or female. There's no non-binary or agender option. I think it's stupid that gender is even an option on the passport, to be honest, because I don't see the point. But here we are. 2023. Still trying to pretend that everyone fits in a neat little box. Rather than people being the wonderfully messy and infinitely varied individuals that they are. And again, that's part of the attraction for me for wanting to get citizenship of either Australia or New Zealand. It's not just because I love those countries to bits, and I think they're doing everything right. They also, you know, not only accept non-binary genders, you can mark it on all your official documents. No one bats an eyelid at it. It's just, yeah, cool. Yeah. You've got blue eyes, you've got a middle name, and your gender is X. Cool. Next. It's pretty non-consequential. Yeah, right. Like if I was more androgynously presenting, like why does it matter that there's an F in the gender? Why does gender even need to be there? It seems such an antiquated way of thinking to me. But you know, it is what it is. Gender shouldn't have an impact on anything, but the reality is it does. And it does every day. The way your gender is perceived and the way your gender you know, impacts you. Sometimes you don't even realize what they are until your gender identity doesn't match what everyone thinks it is. Anyway, I could literally rant about that for hours. I'm not going to because this is Sunday and I want to chill. Oh. I think my hands are telling me it's time to take a break because I'm struggling to grip my paintbrushes, and yeah, we made some good progress today. So next week, I think will probably be the last week. We'll be doing a bit more on the base, just kind of elaborating what's already there, doing the final touches on the main thing, assembling the whole lot together. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna leave that standing up because that's the most stable way I can put it down without risking anything bending or breaking. Yeah, that's it for today. Let's move those into shot so you can have a look. That's the wing. Final wing design for these guys. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there for today. Before I get drawn into a rant of some description, I'm gonna go take a break. So long, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm super happy with how the wings have come out. And the model as a whole, to be honest. I'm really, really happy with that so far. I'm hoping we can finish it off in style. But you'll have to find out next week. Next week will be the final one on this. I'm just going to keep going till it's done. But thank you all very much for joining me. Thank you again to Mystery Tipper. Very nice. And to Husky for the follows. So yeah, thank you all very much for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you're on the world. Oh, and Mango, thank you for the resub as well. I'm sorry. I definitely need to stop. My brain is mashed potato. Thank you all very much for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you're on the world. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. I'll see you all next week for the final part of this. Bye for now.